Welcome to the Board Game Spotlight Podcast. Get ready for an entire hour of gaming goodness, brought to you by our incredible sponsors: IV Studios, Fireside Games, Van Ryder Games, Renegade Game Studios, Mythic Games, This Little Bean of Mine, Game Toppers LLC, Kicktraq, Arcane Wonders, AEG, Draw Lab Entertainment, and of course, our amazing Patreon supporters. This podcast would not be possible without you. And now, here are your hosts, Derek and Lizzie Funkhauser.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Board Game Spotlight Podcast. I am Lizzie.
I'm Derek.
I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Jimmy.
And Derek is recovering from a bit of a cold, so he is not on his 100% A game. So I had to jump in and do that intro for us so that we could get it done.
Listen,
And you did so good.
It took a couple tries, all right? It's okay. We're back.
There has been, there's something going around everywhere. I think everyone across the whole United States has been getting sick. So many friends and stuff. So we hope that you are all doing well, that you are not sick.
Yeah.
If you have been, hope you recover quickly, drink lots of fluids, get lots of rest. It's serious. I've had 2 family members in the hospital the last couple weeks, so it's
Not good.
it's been rough. Yeah, they're all out. They're all fine. It's good, but I know it's been really bad for a lot of people.
It has, and I'm recovering. It's today was much better than the last 5, but it's good. And everything is going all right. So we are going to open up the podcast with our grab. What are we calling this segment? What did we call this last time, Jimmy?
Welcome to Grab Bag, a brand new segment where you never know what questions Derek is going to pull out of the bag.
So the question from the bag is, what board game world or board game, right? So just board game would you like to see turned into a TV show or movie?
Ooh,
And Steph, why don't you start us?
So, I had a funny one just because I was like, oh, this would be fun. Lizard Wizard, a show about a wizard who is a lizard. And I was just joking with that one, but I was like, oh, okay, maybe that could actually be good.
It would be so cute.
It would be a cute show. It would be so
Pixar?
cute.
No, I was thinking more like a Phineas and Ferb style show, like Disney Channel,
How do you envision that?
Yes.
Sorry, we don't mean to steal yours, Stephanie. Tell us your
No,
vision.
that
We
was
wanna
good.
know.
The other one I was gonna say, because I really liked Lost in Space, is Unsettled, because there's so many different worlds, and every time I watch Lost in Space and they go to a new world, I'm so excited because I'm like, what animals, what creatures, what environments. And so when the whole Unsettled Kickstarter was coming out, I was really involved with helping them make their world and giving my opinion. So if I saw that in an actual movie or a show, that'd be the best.
That would be a cool TV show, Weekly
my goodness.
Planets.
And you would have to just follow a new crew, because at the end of that, they just need to die. It's what's the coolest way we can die or save only one person, right? So
Of course.
Tom
It's a little depressing.
and Mark, I'm going to need you to work on this, okay? I don't know anybody, but we can figure it out, all right?
Just start emailing,
So, oh my goodness. We're already getting off on a rabbit trail. So, okay. This is going to be fun. So, coming soon to our Patreon is a new artist spotlight initiative that I started last week.
Okay.
Or was it Monday? I kind of lost track of time. I think I started it Monday.
It's all been a few
Brand
weeks.
new, coming to you.
So, coming to you, everyone at the $10 pledge level is going to receive an exclusive, one-of-a-kind, one-time print run sticker or postcard.
Okay.
And we will be creating a pledge for $15, and you can get both. And these are going to be drawn from Board Game's hottest artists.
Get out of here. Wow.
So today, I got a random, I can't say a random email. I sent a bunch of emails out into the, the internet ether. And
Ether,
whatever.
Ether.
Into the
definitely
space,
ether.
right?
It's an Ethernet cord.
The Ethernet, into the interwebs. And I heard back from a few people,
Mhm.
some people that if you're listening to this, you absolutely will have heard of.
Like Derek called me and he's like, "Did you
No,
check
no,
your email?" And I was like, "What?" I was like,
Well,
I
I'm
checked
gonna-
and it was from an artist, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, this came in like 5
So I'm
minutes
going to
ago."
talk about this
Wow.
one. Like, I was not expecting to get a response from this individual, but when they replied and were extremely enthusiastic about joining,
Wow. Yeah.
I was really excited. And that was Vincent Dutrait.
No.
No.
Yes.
Yes, Vincent Dutrait replied back to my email. Is in. I'm going to work with him on figuring out the best solution for this. He already has a piece of art that he wants to use. I'm super pumped. It's going to be awesome. So we're going to start this in a few months. We're going to get Lizzie and I should say Lizzie's going to get organized and make sure that we can deliver month by month. And we're going to do this. It's going to be a monthly thing. You're going to get your choice again, postcard or sticker. And if you want both of them, then you can, join that pledge level. So
wow, that's
that
amazing.
was kind of my
That's so
random
cool.
fairy,
Fairy
idea this week. I was like, oh, this sounds cool. Like, why not just start this?
Yeah, and then I have like 20 emails in my inbox because he CC'd me and everything, and he's like, all these artists, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be fun.
Like listen, if you don't ask, the answer is always no.
It's true.
That's right.
So
Yep.
I'm like, if they don't reply, okay, whatever.
He's got the ambition to go out and start all this, and I have the organization to actually see it through. So we're like the perfect team here.
We've got some
Dynamic
really
duo.
cool stuff. Yeah, we've got some cool stuff that it's going to be coming. I'm excited to unveil as we get closer to it.
Yeah.
But sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But like the whole
I thought you were gonna go into your what board game you wanted. You were like literal rabbit trail, like not even close to the topic. So
Gone.
would you like to like bring it back, or do you even have an idea?
No, I'm gonna stop talking and let you and Jimmy go, and then I'll go. So what's one of you two?
Go, Lizzie.
Rurik. I'm a big
yes.
history person. And I love like it's based on all the historical people in the region of Kiev and Ukraine, and I just think that would be really cool basis for a show. And there's been a lot
100%.
of really cool like historical, like loosely based, like it wouldn't have to be like super strict, but like Hulu did like The Great, and that was a lot of fun and a little kooky. So I feel like they could take that and do some really fun stuff with it. There's some really great stories from that era. I don't know her name, but there was like a woman who her husband was like murdered by like a rival king or something, and then like he came and he's like, "Hey, I want to marry you," and she's like, not likely, and she like decimated his whole kingdom and like took over, and
Yes.
she's like, "Do you know what I'm talking about, Jimmy?"
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
like,
amazing.
I don't know her name or anything, and I'm terrible. I'll have to look it up. But I was just like, yes, this would be like a great story. This should be told. More people should know
100%.
about her.
That sounds brutal.
It was. It was amazing.
Sounds
She's like, "You
fantastic.
killed my one true love." She's like, "I'm gonna destroy you."
And did it, right?
She did it very effectively.
I love it.
Jimmy, how about you?
I've got two. Okay. One is probably an obvious one that would just be so easy. Like it's already there, and that's Title Blades, right? I mean, it's just so like the Kickstarter that they just did, David and Lena did all this animation for it, and it's like it's right there. It's just so easy. Such a gorgeous world, looks amazing, and so you just got to say that one. That one's just on there. The second one that I thought of was Century Golem. I want a show with that style, with those golems and that cool artwork that they did, like a whole show based around that. Like, give me some of that, and I would binge that in a second.
Oh, Golem Edition is the best edition. I don't care. But
It reminds me of a
the truth.
Disney movie when I was a kid with the big giant, but he was actually a robot.
Yeah,
The Iron
100%.
You know what I'm
Giant?
talking about? Yeah,
Iron
yeah.
Giant, yeah.
I don't know
Is that
why. I
Disney?
have this feeling that they go.
I don't know if it was Disney or not. You'd have to Google that. It was animated. It could have been
Well,
early Disney.
It was animated, yeah.
The Iron Giant is fantastic, though.
I've never
Yes.
It's
seen it.
fantastic.
Oh my
I
gosh!
know.
I finally got
Yeah.
you to watch. What was the one? Treasure Planet,
No, it stopped at like 3/4 of the way through, and then we just never finished it.
Okay, then I have failed as a husband.
Well,
And a
I
friend.
Treasure
I'm
Planet's
not gonna
amazing.
say.
Yes, it is.
I mean, like, I liked it. It was good, but I think like the internet cut out, and we were just like,
Oh, Brad Bird directed Iron Giant. He's done a
Jennifer Aniston
ton
was
of
in it.
amazing.
Vin
No
Diesel,
way.
Harry Connick Jr. That's
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of
the
like
voice cast.
Cloris Leachman.
Who did it though? Was it Disney?
No,
No, it wasn't Disney.
no.
Okay. I am going
Brothers.
to. Oh, it was Warner Brothers. Okay. This one's tough for me.
It was your question.
I know. Like, okay, Tidal Blades for sure. Like, that's fantastic. I absolutely agree with that. I 100% agree with everything that's been said, especially Unsettled. I would love that. I'm gonna cheat a little bit.
Okay.
Of course, bend the rules for yourself.
Now listen. It is a board game, but it is a board game that is based off a video game, so it does not have a TV show or movie yet, and that is Fallout, the board game.
Yeah.
I want a Fallout TV show.
Oh my
on
goodness, yeah.
HBO or Showtime or whatever. Like, I want a brutal, gruesome, gritty Fallout TV show.
Adaptation of the video game set in post-apocalyptic America, TV show.
When is it coming?
I don't know.
So is this
Yeah,
already
see?
a thing?
She's on IMDb. It says
IMDb is my literal
Amazon
favorite.
Prime. So that's awesome. So see, look, I am already a genius because somebody else thought of this.
Are you though?
Well, if you're gonna go off
Are
video
you?
games, The Last of Us should also get its own
Yes.
show.
Oh, I would love that. Absolutely, Steph. The Last of Us is incredible.
Amazing.
So if that doesn't count, then I would love. You know what I would love? This is
It was
wild.
announced in January, like this year.
Oh, I had no idea. Literally, I had no idea. So, and even if I knew, I would have forgotten because that's how my brain works.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on a second. Can I talk about my second game really quick? My second game would be Food Chain Magnet. I would watch a TV show of competing restaurants,
Like a reality.
trying to, yeah. Oh my gosh, make it a reality game. Fans of that game would hate that. Food Chain Magnate, the reality show where 4 rival restaurants are competing in challenges and like trying to gain the most fans.
And they have to be dressed in like 1950s clothes.
Like Car Hop.
Yes, exactly.
What were you gonna say?
Well, I do my memories on Facebook, and this one was you saying that you've never seen or read Romeo and Juliet, and I said we watched the movie together, and you're like, well, I never read it. I was like, you literally, it has Romeo, or it has Leonardo DiCaprio in it. Of course you've seen it.
It's true.
It's your favorite actor.
Leo's my man crush.
Yes.
I don't hide
Love
that.
it.
But yeah, like we literally watched that
You
movie
shouldn't.
together. He made me watch it, and he forgot that he made me watch it. So this is par for the course.
Does anyone else have a game that they want to mention before we move into the next segment?
Nope. That's good for
Rococo's
me.
looking really good. I see that up there. That would be a lot of fun.
How would you imagine that?
Like in a
Like
a
dressmakers? Could that be a reality TV show?
No, not like that. Like a
Oh.
sweeping kind of like a Bridgerton-esque, but this is France.
Ooh.
This is the Rococo style, and the dressmakers get all
Like-
the buzz. They everyone comes to them with their crazy ideas. They want to be the best dressed, and they get all the gossip, and so they know what's going on behind the scenes at court. That could be a lot
There
of
you
fun.
go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Very obsession style
Yes,
theme too.
like- yes.
I like it. I would throw in, I think Dwellings of Eldervale would be really cool
Oh, I was
with
gonna
all the
say that.
monsters in the fantasy land. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't really understand. Like, I mean, I don't know how that would work. I just know, like, maybe you're trying to live in this land and, like, all these monsters
But like
are
you
around
die and you come back, so like no one's ever actually gone.
Yeah.
I just remember when we went to UKGE and Peter was showing it to everyone, and he told everyone, when you die, you come back pissed and with like swords or whatever. And then we found out that in UK, pissed means drunk, not like angry. And he's like,
It was
"No wonder
Martin.
people-"
Martin was like,
Well, no, because we said something, and he was like, "Oh no, he had been drinking or something," and he's like, "Oh no, I'm not pissed." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "No, I'm not like drunk," and I was like, that what that means
Is
to you
that
guys?
what that
and he's
means?
like, yeah. And Peter's like, I've been telling people they've been pissed. And he's like, oh, that's not what I meant.
Oh, how the English language.
I mean, we're both speaking English, just very different versions.
Oh, the
Totally
Queen's
different, yeah.
English.
I love it.
I love it. I love it.
When the Queen dies, will it no longer be the Queen's English?
That's a question. That's a deep question. I don't have an answer to.
That's not our state question that we would know.
We're gonna have to phone a
I have
friend.
no
I think.
idea.
If anybody's listening out there, can you answer that question? I can't. I could do some Google foo, but I don't know if that would even work well.
No, I really want to know.
Well, Google it.
Because, like, once she dies, they have to stop printing money because it's all printed in, like, her name. And they'll have
And
to,
her
like...
picture, yeah.
Yeah, like, they'll completely stop and they'll have to recall everything and put it all out with, like, Charles, who will then be king. Like,
It's a lot.
crazy. She's the
a lot of
longest
work.
ruling queen in, like, England's history. It's insane. Like, when she dies, it will be a
Yeah.
world-changing event.
Oh, of course. Absolutely.
It'll even change the language. Just kidding, I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I think we're all a little like slap happy.
Well, that was a lot of fun. I look forward to seeing our question for the next episode because you never know what's going to come out of the grab bag.
There you go.
You never know where Derek's going to take it on the rabbit trail.
It's true. You better buckle up.
On the Toppers, brought to you by Game Toppers LLC. Game Toppers are a portable gaming top that converts your existing table into a high-quality yet affordable gaming solution.
All right, everyone, we're going to move into our On the Topper segment where we get to talk about the things we love, which is board games.
Let's go.
All right. What have we been playing recently?
Who's
Jimmy,
going
why don't
first?
you start us out?
I have been playing Mall Peak, which is the new pencil first game designed by Keith Matejka.
So jealous.
And it's a follow-up to Skull Hollow. I don't know if you played that one. It's a 2-player game. I guess there's a 4-player version maybe, but
amazing.
Basically 2-player game where you're playing as in the original version, you were these cool little fox clan or fox people, and then you jump. They had these amazing monsters that you would jump up. So it had this little board. I don't know if you know, but you play down on this board with these cool meeples, and then at some point you would jump up on the monsters, and then you would move to this other board. And so super cool concept, and love it. I guess is it like a video game concept or something? Or
yeah, it reminded me mostly of a game from the PlayStation 2 called Shadows of the Colossus. Where you would climb up on top of the monsters and
Deal damage,
yeah, so it very much reminiscent of that, and Skull Hollow is one of our favorite 2-player games.
Oh yeah, that was fantastic. I love playing as the fox, and Derek would always play as the creature monster.
Yeah, whatever the Guardian. I think they're called Guardians.
Yeah, they're Guardians.
Yeah, because it was the fox and versus the Guardians. But that actually reminds me, I need to go back. The new one.
Yeah, you do. I want it.
So cool. So like the new one is great. It's got like now this time instead of foxes, it's bears. And so basically there was these bears that went up on this mountain and they built their homes, and then all of a sudden the Guardians awakened. And so it's kind of cool, like what you said, like misunderstood. Like the Guardians think that these bears have taken over their land, so they think they've got a noble task, and then the bears are like trying to save everybody. So it's cool. But the new one, the monsters are there's this like I don't even know what you call it, but like this snow guy. It's all kind of like a winter theme in this one, and so because they're up on top of the mountain, so there's like this. I don't know if it's like a big bear or whatever this thing is, but like it swallows the bears and it goes into its stomach, and then there's this crazy wicked like a winter spider, and then like a 3-headed dog. Anyways, there's all kinds of cool new monsters, and then they even have included in it a way to play both of them together. And so it's the Battle of Bourne or something like that. And so anyway, so you could actually play all Skull Hollow and Mall Peak together. Really super cool, fun design.
Awesome. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's great.
Derek literally just backed
it.
I
just backed it.
Oh, there you go.
I was
there you
going
go, Ed.
As soon as it came out.
I was going to. You just reminded me. So you just pushed me in the right direction.
There you go. Good decision, sir. So that's what I've been playing.
What have you been playing, Stephanie?
I've been playing quite a few things, but mainly legacy games, so I can't really talk about those ones too much. So we
Oh,
have one group that's doing a Betrayal Legacy.
yeah, that's
Um,
so good.
it's really good. And then I'm also doing Clank Legacy now. We just started that
Mm,
one. That one's like my first legacy game that I've owned, so like it's pretty cool. I'm not destroying anything because that hurts me.
yes. Oh, yeah.
So I have it separate. They keep trying to like destroy things on the side, and I have to put them in a separate area because I'm like, that's not happening. Not in my
Here, give that
house.
to me.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
that's mine. Thank you.
I
I'll take
love
care of
legacy
that.
games for that. Like it's like the whole like no, I'm gonna destroy things.
Yeah, no, I don't, and that doesn't happen.
No, no.
No, it just stresses me out. I don't like
Yeah.
maybe at the end when I'm like when it's finished, maybe I'll do that, like a big destroying party, but until then, we'll wait.
Yeah.
But another one we just recently played was Radlands,
Okay,
two-player
yeah.
game.
Mhm.
So yes, so that one we played, my boyfriend and I played, and I really enjoyed it. It's just a card game, but you're putting out people to defend kind of your city area while you're trying to attack your opponent's people and mainly their cities so that they can go be destroyed and so you can win the game. But really clever mechanics with the use of water tokens that they use to activate your cards to play them and to activate them. And I like how every city has a different action. So everyone gets 3 cities or towns. Sorry if I'm saying the words wrong, if I'm not saying them correctly. Um, but everyone gets 3, and those have different actions as well that you can use on there. But you can like destroy them to hurt yourself and your opponents. But it's very back and forth. And really, we thought it was going to be a 5-minute game, which turned into 30 minutes, 45 minutes, where we just kept
Mhm.
going back and forth. So I was like, this is actually pretty surprising. I really
Mm.
enjoyed it.
The artwork on that is just so cool. I just love everything about the artwork on that.
I love the box because when you open the box, it's got a magnetic lid and like the head comes
Of
off, so it
course.
looks like
Mhm.
there's blood squirting or something,
Oh.
but it's all pink, so it's just pink. But it looks really cool. I love that theme.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's kind of like post-apocalyptic punk art.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cyberpunk kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's epic.
Love it a lot. But yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Oh,
So
I
here's
still have
oh,
go
go ahead,
ahead.
Jimmy.
No, I was just gonna say I still have Clank Legacy on the shelf. I've opened it up and I'm just so scared to start it. I'm
See?
so scared. I'm not a finisher. I can't complete things. So like I know we're gonna play like 2 games and ruin something and then never go back to it. So I'm just afraid to start.
It's really good so far. I like deck building, so I will
Mhm.
say
Mhm.
like once you start playing it, you're gonna be like, I want to play another one because it's good. It
Oh,
gives you
okay.
that feeling of I want to keep going because I just want to keep the story going and keep growing
Mhm.
my deck.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
You
Yeah.
sound so
I'm
happy
so
about it. Okay.
I'm so oh, yeah, okay.
Jimmy's
All
like,
right.
you're not. I don't know.
Uh
I know
Yeah.
me, and this is not gonna work.
You need to bring it to like a weekend retreat and just like you're stuck in the house with those people and be like, we're just gonna play this all day.
This is it,
Yes, there you
kids.
go. That could be like a weekend getaway game too. Like just
Mhm.
play through the
Mm.
entire thing over a
Like I'm
weekend.
holding you guys hostage until this is done. Nobody leaves. Just kidding.
So here's a new segment for everyone who's listening.
Derek Ryan.
Not really a new segment, but while we're podcasting, you can try to guess how many games Derek just backed.
Oh,
So
no.
how many games did Derek just back on Kickstarter? Now, if you're following us on Kickstarter, then you're cheating because you're going to get all the notifications.
But they don't know when it was.
But for those of you
When we
who are, that's true. For those of you who are keeping track at home, tonight I've just backed 5 new games. 2
Are you gonna
include
tell us?
one called Throw Octopus, which is a
Okay.
tile laying game about throwing octopi.
Octopodes?
Okay.
Octopodes. Age of Rome.
Yes,
Malt
that one looks
Peak,
good.
an asymmetric 2-player game. The Maglev Metro Volume 1 maps, which are
Finally.
finally
What's
on
wrong
there.
with you?
Sorry about that. I apologize. I also backed a game called Toasty, which is a video game about a marshmallow knight.
Of course. Yes.
You just
yes.
get a Steam code
Why
for
wouldn't
it.
That
it
makes
be?
sense.
I mean, why not? Let's see. And then a game called Fujiyama and Ajisai. They are Japanese-made board games, and I love to buy these on Kickstarter because it's really expensive to get them imported. So they are. One of them is about creating colorful hydrangeas and mountains, and then something else about critters. I don't know. They look cute.
Derek does not speak Japanese, so he can't tell you everything, but the art got him.
But the art.
Listen. Art got me, and it happens a lot.
So we're up to 5 so far.
Well, I don't think there'll be any more. I'm going to put the phone down.
Oh, okay. All right.
Switching back to the segment at hand.
Yeah.
What have we played?
What have you
We've
played?
played quite a bit.
So we know last time Ruel talked about Tenpenny Park, and he had played it. So, of course, we had to break out our copy came in like the next day, I think.
It did, yeah.
So we got it to the table. Really quick learn, really great, fun game. We loved it.
Really.
So this is from Thunderworks, right?
I loved it. Yep, it's a Thunderworks game with art by Vincent Dutrait. Very pretty straightforward worker placement with polyomino placement. You're building a theme park, worker placement, and I just really enjoyed it. Played in like 25-30 minutes.
Yeah, I think
for
with,
2 players.
With Teach and everything, it was like 35-40 minutes, like from Teach to like done with the game.
Yeah.
So it was really
I enjoyed
easy to
it a
pick
lot.
up, but like a lot of really good decisions. I felt like it was.
I would definitely put it in the
play over and over.
entry level.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely easier, but it was like a very enjoyable game.
Things on Kickstarter we've played recently. We played Tidal Blades 2. We played that, and then we did Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition.
Yep.
Oh, okay, cool.
The Discovery expansion for that with the milestones and awards, which are great.
And the upgraded
upgraded action cards.
Yeah, those are cool. I like that a lot.
And Disney Sorcerer's Arena.
Yeah, so it's not out yet. That's a pre-order, but that's coming soon.
This summer, yeah.
Yeah, so we played. I was Sully and
Gaston
and Ariel was my team.
And I was Sorcerer Mickey and Demona and Aladdin.
Yes.
So
all right.
Yeah, it is such a fantastic game. I really, really like it. And if you've got kids, it's going to be a massive hit.
So is it like a battle style? Like I don't know.
It's an arena battler game. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's got like the hexes on the board, and you're moving towards each other, and then in the middle there's like 3, kind of like King of the Hill, where if you're on it, you get a point at the beginning of your turn for being on it. So you're trying to fight over that space. And then each of them have powers that are very specific to the characters. Really fun, inventive. Like
each character has 10 cards, and you take those and you shuffle them together to make a 30-card deck.
But if you run out of cards,
so
you want to be very sparing. Like you don't want to be like trying to run through your deck to find something specific. You want to use the cards that you have on hand. We
were able to stream it, and I love it. Like I've played it. I was like the fourth or fifth time because I played it online, and then we played through the entire. Like the rule book does like what it did with Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle, where it like builds upon itself and it like teaches you the game as you play through the different chapters, which is great.
Yeah. And they're coming out with like a character expansion. So, it's Disney. They have like all kinds of characters.
Moana and Davy Jones.
They're
and
doing
of course
a water. And they somehow decided Stitch was a water creature, and I was like, excuse me, the movie very clearly explains that his molecular density is too great and he would not survive in water. So I don't know where you get off saying that he is a water-based creature.
Yeah, just
he lands in Hawaii.
Hawaii, an island, land, Earth.
Yeah, because he couldn't leave the island. That's why they put him. They're like, he's
so
frustrated. Right there.
I am excited that Stitch is there, regardless of the expansion that he's in.
I'm excited too. I love Stitch. He's amazing.
It's actually funny when I got a chance to play the Tabletopia version with Fletch, the designer. He was asking, he was like, hey, what do you think about some expansions we might do or whatever? And I was just throwing stuff against the wall. And he didn't confirm or deny anything. He was just interested in like what I would like to see as a character. And the first person I named was Stitch. That was the first character that I wanted to see.
Who I want? Baymax.
That would be a great character.
He would be so much fun. He would be slow, but he would be so helpful. It would be so cute.
He could like give you hugs to give you like heal, and you could be like,
He could jet off to like the other side of the board. Like his walking speed is terrible, but like every now and then he'll just like fly to the other side of the board. Oh my gosh. I'm obsessed.
Could you like run into him and bounce off of him?
Yes,
and like use him as like a
his
bouncing
attack
board?
is like bounce off his belly and jump back 3 spaces. Oh my gosh, can you imagine?
I would like to see Baymax.
100%. Yeah. Well, it sounds great.
That's an underrated movie too.
It is. Oh,
Big
yes.
Hero
Big Hero
6.
6
Big
is
Hero 6 is a great
hugely-
movie.
It should get more love.
It really should. Like I love that movie. Anytime it's on, I want to watch it.
And the soundtrack is so good. I love it.
And the story is
It's
good.
fantastic.
So good.
Have y'all seen Ron's Gone Wrong? Or
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, Ron's
Have you
Gone
seen that
Wrong,
one?
right?
Yeah.
I laughed so much at that movie. Me and my boys, we just loved it. So that's another one I think is underrated animated movie that I think was great. So
Definitely one of the new ones
Yes,
too.
I've watched that. He
Yeah,
liked
he
it.
liked it a lot. And I liked it too. I'd say probably my favorite animated movie of the most recent years is Mitchell's vs. Machines, though.
Oh, that was so good.
that was good.
I knew nothing about that movie. And then I watched it and I was like, why is this so good? Like, why am I laughing so much?
And okay, so we watch everything with the subtitles on. So that whole like fight in the mall with the Furbies, it's
Yeah, yeah.
translated with the captions. So like you know what they're
No.
saying and it's hilarious.
Yes.
And then
No.
we found out
They're
afterwards
talking.
that like if you don't watch it with the subtitles, you don't it's just like Furby gibberish. They actually have like dialogue and it's amazing. You need to watch it with the subtitles.
Now I got to watch it.
It's
Just
so good.
watch it with subtitles or just go to that scene and watch it with subtitles for Furby.
It will change that entire scene. It's so good.
The scene actually
That's
gets a lot
amazing.
darker now that you know what the Furbies
Now you know.
are saying. I mean, as if they
That's
weren't
amazing.
creepy enough.
Mm. One of my favorite, this is like super old school, like way throw it back, The Thief and the Cobbler. Has anyone ever seen that?
Never. I haven't even heard
Never.
of it.
It's
No.
super
This
old.
is
It's
not a
like,
real movie.
Is that even
it's
a movie?
not Disney or anything.
This is not real.
It's like Matthew Broderick, and it's got like a ton of big
call
names.
shenanigans.
No way.
I think it's Toni Collette. It's like insane.
Don't believe you.
Hang on,
She goes to IMDb.
it's my favorite thing.
So we'll be watching
what?
Thief and the Cobbler. We'll be
Yes.
watching TV or movie, and Lizzie will be scrolling.
1993.
Lizzie will be scrolling
Oh.
on IMDb, reading all of the random trivia facts for the TV show or movie
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah, of
Matthew
course.
Broderick was in it.
every time.
Jennifer Beals was in it. It's got like a lot of.
Is
like,
it a Disney movie?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Yeah, Toni
Well, that's
Collette
why,
was in
right?
it.
One
It's
of
That's
so
why
good.
we don't know it.
One of those old ones that I haven't seen in a long time that I can never find anywhere is Quest for Camelot.
I love Quest for Camelot too.
Really?
Two-Headed Dragon, yes.
Yes!
Oh my goodness, so good. I loved that movie. We had like the sing-along version on VHS.
That's not a movie.
Oh my goodness.
Is it
It's
a movie?
amazing. It's been
Yes.
so long.
There's like the two-headed dragon and they like fight and they're like at each other's throats and then at the end there's like this big wave of magic and they get separated and then they're like no and so they hug each other and they like pop back together because they realize they're better together. It's a Arthurian story.
Mm.
They've got 2 arms, 2
Mhm.
legs, and then 2 heads, so like they share.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to
That's a
watch
good
that.
one,
I've never seen it. Never watched that one either.
See,
We're
there you
gonna have
go.
to put
Song The Prayer
spoilers.
in it.
Yeah, now I know what happens. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's obviously the whole story.
I'll
That's
have to
it.
check it out. That's
That's
it.
it.
end.
It's a two-headed. Yeah.
Fade to
Oh
black.
my goodness, it's Carrie Hughes.
Oh, really?
I love him.
Had no idea. Well, you wouldn't have known that as a kid.
Oh, Gary Oldman is in it, and Eric Idle, and Don Rickles, and Jane Seymour, Celine Dion, Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan, I know him.
Oh my God, Jaleel White. These
Which
are
is
some
this
big
the
names.
quest and the apple
Quest for
turnover?
Camelot. Quest
okay.
for apple turnovers.
What was
Now I'm hungry, Jimmy. Now we're turning this into food. Oh man.
Oh my goodness, we're gonna have to try and find that somewhere and see if we can watch it.
Oh, I'll
And
look.
tell
for
me
it.
where
on the
you
internet,
find
I'm
it.
sure.
We will.
Says you can watch on Prime Video, front or buy for $2.99.
Well, maybe we can rent it and we'll have a little date night.
$2.99.
Still
is-
cheaper than the
I
movie
scroll
theater.
down and there's the Swan Princess.
The Swan
That's what I was
Princess
gonna
good.
say. I'm now on IMDb as well.
Princess and the
love that
Frog.
movie.
That one is underrated as well. I like the Princess and the Frog a lot.
But the Swan Princess has Prince Derek.
Obviously, because I'm awesome.
And it has the classic line where he like is like, we should get married, and she's like, okay. He's like, you're pretty, and she's like, what else?
What
and
else
he's like,
is there?
You should write a book, How to Offend Women in 3 words or less.
Yeah.
Or 5 words or less, or whatever it is.
It's literally iconic. So
It
good.
is.
All right. Well,
We
I'll
should
have
get
to watch
back
that one
onto
too.
board game stuff.
We
We've
should get
gone
back to
down
board games.
The animated movie loophole. Oh, it was a good
But it's okay
one.
because if you're listening to this, I'm sure that you can, there's
What
something in
animated
common.
movie did you watch when you were a child that you're like not sure if it was a fever dream or if other people have actually
that's
seen
funny.
it as well? Let us know, because
Yeah, it's
there's
true.
some crazy ones out there and people are like, no one's ever seen it. I'm the literal only one.
Or they feel like they're the only one. Yeah.
Well, neither
I
of you.
remember. I don't hear anybody ever talk about watching Atlantis.
Oh,
Right?
yeah. That's
And
not
I-
bad.
and
I
Milo-
was like in love with him. My sister's like, he's so ugly. I was like, no, he's so cute.
It was the glasses, wasn't it?
I know.
Yes.
I love you. That is amazing.
Our next segment is brought to you by Kicktraq. Kicktraq is a crowdfunding analytics and discovery platform.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Kicktraq Spotlight. Today we are looking at Birds of a Feather, Western North America. And this game is back on Kickstarter. There was a previous version of Birds of a Feather released back in 2015. They are back with a new version of the game. And in this one, they're going to go fully carbon neutral, 100% compostable game. They are going for quality and sustainability. They're not going to use any plastic, no polymers. And that is something to me that stands out when I look at games and I look at publishers who are trying to fund and get their game out. That's something to me that I find attractive. It certainly can raise prices, but in most scenarios, it's something that is worthwhile, and that's no exception here. Now, Birds of a Feather, Western North America, is a set collecting game where it's by rounds, not by turns, and every round, each player takes a card, and they simultaneously reveal it. And based on the number of birds and certain habitats, you're going to be able to mark off the birds or habitats on your score sheet in order to score points at the end of the game. It is really fun. It looks really pretty. The artwork is fantastic. It is not only a very entry level, like it's inviting, but there is enough strategy to keep players coming back. And if you're looking for a small box game, those are the types of things that I certainly look for in my small box games, are easy to teach, but deceptively strategic, right? And Birds of a Feather is going to check all of those boxes. So if this sounds like a game that's interesting to you, go take a look at their crowdfunding campaign. They have not funded yet. They are really close at just over 80%. So go take a look.
This interview is sponsored by This Little Bean of Mine, bringing you fresh, unique coffee within 2 weeks of roasting. So here we are. I'm with Rob from Cyanide and Happiness. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
Oh, so cool to talk with you. So great to kind of interact online and stuff. So I met you at Gen Con a couple years ago at the Skybound booth and stuff like that. And so it's great to talk to you again. So hope things are going good for you. Hope you've survived all of the pandemic kind of craziness that we've been through.
It's been a wild couple of years and it doesn't seem to be letting up, but we're doing okay. We're still making games, still having fun.
Yeah, 100%. So for people, I guess, give us some background. Tell us what you do, what you've created, and kind of what you got going on right now.
Yeah, so me and my buddies a decade and a half ago made this thing called Cyanide and Happiness, a daily comic, soon became an animation series, then a card game, and just trying to conquer the darker corners of the internet, basically. And it's been a ride. We've been doing it for a long time, haven't gotten tired of it. It's going great.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I know that there's going to be a lot of people that know about it and love it. So it's great to be able to bring you on this podcast and talk board games and comics and everything else. So so I know that you have made some board games and card games and stuff. So tell us about some of those that you made and maybe what you got going on right now.
Yeah, so our first card game happened almost entirely by accident. We like I said, we started doing daily comics, and in 2014 we decided, like, wouldn't it be cool if we made a little program that generates random comics? We'll just make like 200 panels for panel 1, panel 2, panel 3, and that'll be something like 30 trillion combinations. Who knows? Let's just make a big orange button, and then you press it and it makes a new comic every time. So we did that, and it was so much fun that we almost didn't release it because we were so like caught up testing it and laughing our asses off. And then, like, within a matter of like 30 days, I had the idea of, like, if it's fun to like push a button and watch it on a screen, what if we printed these out and put them on a table and see if like any game mechanics emerged from that? And we started messing around. We went down lots of paths that didn't work. We tested it. We learned how to test a game because none of us had made a game before. Yeah. And we ended up with Joking Hazard, which came out on Kickstarter in 2016. That was our first game.
Yeah, that's amazing, and it's on the shelf at Target. I see it every time I go in there, so that's pretty cool. That's done. I assume that's done pretty well for you.
Yeah, it's surreal every time I go to Target as well to see my own little characters on the shelf.
Yeah, that's got to be amazing. And then another one came along, right? Not too long ago when I was at Gen Con 2019, maybe, I guess, with a Trial by Trolley, and talk about that and that whole experience coming up with that one.
Yeah, so that was a very different origin. Ben Kepner and James Hudson over from Skybound Games, we became friends with them from doing the convention circuit with Joking Hazard, and we were at one of these shows. It was PAX East, I think, or maybe PAX Unplugged. They all blend together. But James Hudson comes up and says, "Hey, we've got this party game idea," and as soon as I heard it, I thought Cyanide and Happiness is written all over this. So he gave the pitch. I said, "Oh my God, how has this never been made before? Like a card game version of the trolley problem. Like that's brilliant. Like we could have so much fun with this, and not just like the game content, but the marketing as well, which we did end up having a lot of fun with. We made an interactive series, animation series. But yeah, that was an idea that came from Skybound, and it became this really amazing partnership where they brought all of their experience in balancing and testing and design and execution, and then we brought all of our butt jokes and all of our edgy humor, and we kind of met halfway and made this really, really funny dynamic game that involves a lot of arguing, which is my favorite kind of game.
Yeah, I shot some video of people playing it, and every group that sat down at the table, it was just a riot, every single one of them, and they thought it was a great combination of the comic along with the mechanisms. So that's great. So congrats on that. And again, that's another one I see on the shelf at Target too. So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me, I think that there's a third one, right? There's something else that you have going on?
Oh, who told you? Yeah. So our third game has been in development almost as long as almost since Joking Hazard came out. It was like less than a year later that one of the co-founders, Dave Mickelfatrick, he had this spontaneous idea, like, we've made a game where you can watch Cyanide and Happiness characters make jokes and do things, which is Joking Hazard. But what if we made a game where you could become a Cyanide and Happiness character and create some kind of like crazy combination of a head and a body, and then the game mechanics could be anything, in the very beginning, it was a courtroom drama. So we called it Bad Judgment, and there was a crime being accused, and you had to defend yourself and explain why it couldn't be you while hurling accusations at each other. And then that was a little bit too open-ended. It was more of like a role-playing experience than a game. So we kind of reeled it in. We played with different things. And then a couple years later, we resurfaced it and said, hey, what about dating? Like, what if it was a dating game? It's funny. Like, a lot of the characters by the way, it's called Master Dater. I should probably mention that. Our new game is called Master Dater, and it's on GameFan. And yeah, like a lot of the characters that were in Bad Judgment and the courtroom drama were carried over into the dating version. So now you have these really creepy cryptids, like really dark characters in this dating game, which makes it even funnier. But it's been a lot of fun to develop. It's so much fun to play.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, and the artwork is just great. And so
Mhm.
I love the combination of the head and the body. That's such a cool thing. And then tell us that, but there's a game here. It's not just making the combination, but it's also you're trying to get cards and how does that work?
Yeah, there is a game, and it's deceptively simple in terms of rules.
Uh-huh.
You're creating a head and a body from you have 3 heads and 3 bodies in your hand, and you're creating a character to pander to 3 specific dating preferences, interests, and the interests are very like they're either very specific or very very weird. They're pretty far out
Mhm.
there, and what we found is that it creates this like it's a really dynamic type of gameplay because I should also mention you're not trying to just get 10 points to win like
Uh-huh.
Joking Hazard or Cards Against Humanity. You have to get 5 points, and we have 3 different types of interests, so you're not all
Mhm.
competing for the same stuff. You have to
Mhm.
really get specific and bend over backwards, and it creates the most. I would describe it as like trial by trolley, like kind of on steroids, because you're not just making a "Am I going to kill this person or kill that person?" argument.
Uh-huh.
You're
Right.
making a specific case for
Uh-huh.
yourself like why you're the absolute perfect suitor for these 3 interests, and it creates these like insane mental gymnastics when you're playing with the right people. Like it's this game that makes strangers like stop and like stare and wonder like, wait, did I just really hear them say that? Um,
Of course, right.
it's really
Yeah.
fun. It's a game where RPG like fanatics and like D&D guys will have an edge because when you get into a character, you're really going to be like reaching sometimes to explain your case. And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, tell me about the move to GameFound. So, Kickstarter's been a big thing, and I know that the last 2 have been over there, and then now you've switched over to GameFound. So, what's that whole, I guess, business side kind of like? We're switching platforms.
Yeah, it's been a great experience overall. GameFound is just amazing. It was made by people who made millions of dollars on Kickstarter, Awaken Realms, and
Uh
like
huh.
they knew where the pain points were with the platform. They knew what to fix. They knew what people were asking for, and they just put it all in there. It's very creator centric and
Mm.
also very backer centric. It's got built-in pledge manager. The move happened because like as a lot of people know, late last year, Kickstarter announced we are pivoting to blockchain technology, and then kind
Hmm.
of full stop, no further explanation. And they haven't really given a real explanation since. They
Right.
spent a lot of like, oh, we're going to put a committee together and talk about this. We're going to take our time, but they've never said we are not moving into blockchain and crypto. And like for people like us, like we're artists, we're environmentalists. We're not a fan of NFTs, blockchain tech, crypto. It's kind of a non-starter, and not to mention like the rampant IP theft and art theft that happens, including to us. Like we're lucky that we're a pretty solid like company, and we have a lawyer who can go out and do takedowns. But like about once every 2 weeks,
Mm.
like Cyanide and Happiness shows up on OpenSea or some other like one of these other like decentralized aka if someone steals your
Right.
stuff, like too bad. Platforms, and we're lucky enough that we can do something about it. Like a lot of my friends who are artists and cartoonists, like they just have to deal with it. And yeah, we're not a fan of the environmental impacts, and like it's all been said before. I'm beating a dead horse, but
No.
it's something that really put off a lot of people, and the lack of clarity afterwards, it was something we felt we couldn't really support.
Hmm.
So we looked around and we found GameFound in that search, and we looked into it, and like we talked to them, and we were like, yeah, this is actually this is really good. This is a good place to crowdfund.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and I thought that it was interesting, not to get too far down the rabbit hole with the crypto and Kickstarter, but I did find it interesting that there was a lot of talk about it, and then Kickstarter just was like, "Hey, yeah, this is what we're doing. Here's an FAQ," and then it was just silence.
Right.
Oh, so yeah, but congrats, that one's going well, and I guess did it just launch not too long ago,
It
and
launched what day is it? we're mid
yes,
campaign. You know how it gets. Like
uh-huh,
I feel
yeah.
like I'm falling into a black hole. But it launched on the 5th, 3 days ago. So we're 3 days in.
Right. Yeah. So that's awesome. So then this one's going to run. It's got 27 days left, and so they can jump on there. Can you tell us anything about the campaign? Like, what are they going to get if they backed it? All of that. Any kind of special stuff y'all are doing?
So like start things off, we're knocking $5 off the main game for people who
Hmm.
back it, because we figure that helps with the shipping costs associated with crowdfunding,
Hmm.
as everyone's familiar with, and
Hmm.
also because everyone who helps us make this thing happen, like we want to give them a little discount. And then the main thing is we have a reward level called the Big Love Edition, which is an oversized box which will fit future expansions, other rewards. And we're going to stuff it full of stuff. Like we've got a few things unlocked already. We've got an expansion pack, a couple of extra Joking Hazard cards. We're about to unlock stickers, and then we're pulling out the big guns towards the second half if we hit our goals. So lots of cool rewards. We're also anyone who was familiar with Trial by Trolley will remember we did an interactive animation series where the audience helped Trolley Tom pick left or right and who to kill and who to save. And this time we're doing something a little bit more ambitious. We're doing an entire creepy dating show on an island. We're doing an animated game show where people can give us suggestions on who to eliminate. We're trying to find the perfect date for a contestant. So we launched that first episode yesterday. Super fun. Lots of people are getting into it. It's been a blast, and we got 7 more episodes to go. So we like to put a lot into these things.
Apparently, yeah. Some people just run a Kickstarter campaign, and then you add it on top of that with the whole series and everything else. So that's
it's all about that mid campaign. We got to keep that dip from going too low. And I think doing an insane animated series is one way to do it.
yeah, that is one way. Oh, that's amazing. So, well, congrats on that. I mean, anything else that you guys have coming up? I mean, I know probably with everything going on in your head, you probably got a few other ideas back there. Anything you can tell us about, or?
Yeah, we got a couple. Nothing I can really talk about because we like to announce our games all at once after working on them in secret. I think it's the best way to do it. Because who's getting hyped for a board game 2 years early? Like it's maybe some games, but we have a couple more card games in development in different phases. We have a video game coming out, which I'm pretty excited about. Chapter 2 actually of a game. Chapter 1 came out last year. And we're getting close to announcing the date for Chapter 2. So that's been like a whole other thing that we're buzzing about internally on top of Master Dater. But apart from that, our biggest thing right now is this new campaign, the series, which I think is like an event in itself.
100%, yeah.
And then more animations, more comics. That's our bread and butter.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's amazing. So, yeah, it sounds like you guys got a lot cooking, and I hope that people can check it out. So, if people want to follow the campaign, what's the best place for them to maybe get info, news, all that kind of stuff?
I mean, the easiest way is just Google Master Dater. It'll be the first result. So don't misspell it. But you'll find our Game Found page. You can also go to any of our socials where we're incessantly talking about it for the next 26 days. If you follow us anywhere, you're either already a backer or you're sick of us talking about it. So you can't miss it if you follow us. You can go to our website even. There's a lot of ways to find it.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, I mean, what else can you tell us? I don't know. Is there anything else going on with you that you want to highlight? We got board gamers, RPG players, all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I'm searching for a question here. So you tell me, is there anything else?
It's funny you mentioned RPGs and tabletop gamers, like a lot of more serious gamers I've talked to about our games, like either never won't touch them because it's not a party game, it's not a Cards Against Humanity, whatever. But like the majority of them have told us we like Joking Hazards, it's our warm-up game, it's our icebreaker. We play it for 30 minutes and then we put it away and then we get into D&D. And I love that. I love that we have a casual game that can also fit into that icebreaker warm-up category where you play it for 20 minutes, you go, that was fun, let's put it away until next time, or until a year from now, until Thanksgiving, And I love having a game that can do both.
100%. There's a place for it on the shelf then, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, way cool. Well, I genuinely appreciate talking with you, and thanks for clearing your schedule to be able to be with us today. And I hope that people jump on the campaign and check out what you guys got going on.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
And now for Industry Insider, where we pull back the curtain to talk about what it takes to make the board games that we love.
All right, everyone, welcome back. We are going to talk about our Industry Insider segment. And this one, we're going to get a little meta. We're going to get a little into April Fool's Day. Okay. So recently, I mean, if you're online, if you're on social media, Twitter, the Facebook, that type
The
of thing.
Facebook?
Yeah, the Facebook.
Okay,
The
boomer.
Facebook.
Facebook. Your age is showing.
You might, I know. It's the gray hair. You might have seen publishers, game companies putting out these seemingly fake
Or are
games.
they?
Or are they? Fake or real is what we're going to call this segment.
Oh, wow.
So, Stonemaier Games,
Yep.
they recently released 2 options
Okay.
for April Fool's Day. Fake or real? Did they release disc golf sets?
Like literal
disc
Like-
golf, like
Like
drivers and
frisbees.
frisbees,
Oh, like frisbees. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Right,
you could
right.
purchase these with designers' names on them.
It was like Wingspan, right?
Yeah, or the game names on them. I think they had drivers and putters, and it was very cool. So is that real, or is a fake mini compass, not compass, but like a magnifying glass real? So which of those 2 was real?
I'm going with I bet Jamie's like into disc golf or something, right? So he is like a pet project and he had to do it. That's my guess. I don't know.
Steph, what do you think?
It up.
I think the disc golf thing too, because that just sounds real.
What do you think,
What?
Lily?
Oh, I know.
Yeah, you do know. The disc golf sets were real, and you could purchase them on April Fool's Day,
No.
April 1st from Stonemaier.
Yeah.
But wait a minute, it was actually a trick question
real.
because they were both real. He also put up a pre-order for a Stonemaier magnifying glass.
What's the catch on the magnifying
Sure.
glass?
Oh no!
Just I really like magnifying glasses. So
You know what, maybe-
we're gonna make
maybe-
them.
He
Here,
has
Lizzie,
a little
tell
word.
us a little bit about it.
It says we created 2 silly and very real products for April Fools: a magnifying glass for small text in games,
Oh, okay.
So I
and
can-
a chocolate-colored candy egg
Now-
tray, so you don't confuse Wingspan's plastic eggs for
oh,
edible
that's
eggs.
funny. That's awesome.
chocolate-colored, not
Chocolate
chocolate
colored.
Chocolate-colored, yeah.
And then they also have the disc golf.
added the disc golf. So like that wasn't even like April Fools. That was just like, hey, it's real. So
I
Oh,
wonder.
wow.
I love Jamie. I love what Jamie's doing. I wonder if the magnifying glass was kind of like his funny way of admitting that the text on like
the cards is a little small.
no, like on specifically the was it the King of Mad Ludwig?
Between 2 castles of Mad King Ludwig.
Yeah, between 2
okay.
castles of Mad King Ludwig, the text on those tiles was a little tiny.
That's funny. I just looked it up. That is
Hey,
amazing.
Grandpa.
It's got a case and everything. That's amazing.
Right? I love it. So also another thing that was unveiled
Mhm.
on April 1st, I believe was when I saw it. It was definitely shared on April 1st, so I don't know if it was meant to be an April Fool's Day joke or not. Fake or real, legendary special edition ultra deluxeified Suro.
Oh.
What do you think? With like super
Real.
extravagant miniatures to move on the board.
I'm gonna say real because I thought it was.
Yeah.
I still don't know if it's not then. You're about
If
to
it's
tell
not, they
me.
got me too. Yeah.
It is real. It is
it
a real
is?
product. Yep. A deluxe, like a legendary version of Suro is coming.
Thank
Oh.
goodness.
That's amazing.
Yep. I
saw they're doing.
saw it today.
Did you see the Castles of Burgundy that they announced?
Yes.
I did.
Yes, I was
from
waiting.
Awakened Realms.
I hope that's real because that looked
It is
amazing.
real. It
Oh,
is
That
real.
is real.
They announced that today. That
Oh,
definitely
okay,
is
yeah.
real.
Yeah, that looks amazing.
What else was released? Oh, okay. Fake or real? Sagrazi. A brand new evolution of Sagrada and Yahtzee.
Well, I know the answer to this one because I won't say, but
You won't say. Steph, what do you think?
Why is it me? I'm gonna say fake.
Yeah, it's fake.
Okay.
Sagrazi. So while you could have downloaded a PDF for Sagrazzi, and Jimmy's got it right there.
I printed that puppy out, man. I saw it. I clicked the download. Oh, that's so funny.
I love that you had it like right there.
Ta-da! Here it is.
Talk about perfect timing. Oh my goodness. So Sagrazzi was obviously their April Fool's joke. But it was a real thing you could download and play.
Yep, real deal.
Yeah,
yep, rules and everything.
So you can tell us about it next week when we record.
Yeah.
What have you been playing? A little Sagrazzi.
Just can't get enough of Sagrazzi.
It's gonna be in my top 10 2022.
Oh my goodness! What if it was though? Like, what
honorable
if it was
mention?
Legitimately a good game. I mean, I don't mind Yahtzee, and Sagrada is great. So who knows? It could be a dark horse sleeper pick.
Yep, I love it.
Speaking of that, my March Madness bracket was absolutely demolished. I was doing really well with Duke and Villanova in the Final Four, and then both of them lost. And yeah, I think Lizzie's mom beat our pool. I think she was the winner of the pool.
Yeah.
Oh,
so we do it with my family. So I've been doing it since like before I could like write. My mom would read off the names to me, and I would pick them. When I was really little, before I could write, my mom did mine for me, and I picked Gonzaga, and everyone made fun of me, and like that's my team since then. But like I won that year as I don't know, 3, 4, 5-year-old or something.
Well, Seb picked.
Yeah, they were all making fun of me. And when I was little, it was whoever won got to pick where we went for lunch on Sunday, and so I won, and I got to pick, and everyone was like, like it was insane. It was like the biggest upset ever.
The biggest upset.
But yeah, this year Seb picked the Peacocks, and we're like,
and they went to the Elite Eight, and we're like, what is happening? I mean, I was cheering for him because obviously I'm going to cheer for the Cinderella
when you were filling
story.
it out, you kept being like, no, like, and I was like, let him pick whatever he wants. It's fine.
No, I mean, I was not going to like tell him what he can and cannot pick.
But
Listen,
you were like,
I was no.
The 15 is the worst, and I was like, if he says 15,
I was
15.
just letting him know that he
and
knows
took your
bigger numbers.
And he said,
did.
"No, thank you, sir."
He did. I was like, "Listen, listen, bro. Listen, bro. Do you know that smaller numbers in basketball are better than bigger numbers?" And he looked at me and he said, 15. And I said, "All right." Duly noted. 15.
15.
Dad, I know more than you.
Next year, I'm calling him.
In third. Yeah,
you should.
Last year too, he picked a couple of like crazy
he had some big
upsets too.
Yeah. Well, naturally, I mean, it's going to happen when you pick some bigger numbers, but yeah. But he's done really well. It's been fun, and we've been doing the BattleBots tournament.
It ended tonight, so we can watch it tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow we're gonna see who wins. We fill out the bracket for BattleBots.
We
it's on
all
Discovery
did
Plus.
Very poorly this year.
Super fun if you've not watched BattleBots. Really? I used to watch as a kid, and it's back, and it's awesome.
Is it really? That's cool. I haven't seen it.
Very fun.
Yeah, you can find. I think they do some stuff on YouTube too. Like they have like special fights that they like just released for there. So we have been following it. Seb has his favorites. He like knows all of them, and he's
he can tell you about them.
That one. He's a drum spinner, and this one's a flipper. I love the flippers. So he's very into all of them.
Yeah, he is. Very fun. Very fun to watch him. That's all I have for April Fools, I think. Oh no, there's one more. So Chip Theory games. April Fools, fake or real, plushies, coasters, coffee, and a coffee mug, and don't forget the stickers
and puzzles. She said
puzzles.
Yeah, totally
real or fake.
Somebody's doing this
too much. Yeah,
somebody's totally doing this.
Book, right?
The pop-up book from a few. That was the automation of Shale. Nice. I think that was Steph. You were talking about that one.
Yes, that one looks amazing. I actually saw it on a TikTok. Danny was playing it, and I was like, this looks amazing. Or reading it, technically. It's a pop-up book. So she's like, you can move things on here. And I'm like, that looks amazing and something I don't need, but I kind of want.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's absolutely right. I mean, it's super cool. What?
I just remembered the game that we played on April 1st.
What did we play?
The Office Guess Who.
Oh yeah. We live streamed Office Guess Who for April Fools. It was super fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And someone in our group saw it and was inspired, and they made a Schitt's Creek version.
No.
Ew, David.
Love that.
Love that for you.
I love Schitt's Creek.
Fold
baby,
in the cheese.
Oh.
You filled it in. If you say fold one more time.
Oh, sorry, Jimmy. If you've not seen Schitt's Creek, you probably don't get those jokes. Very funny Canadian TV show with Moira Rose. Moira.
It's the best. I was just watching it today again.
Yeah,
for
we're
like
gonna
the 10th
rewatch
time.
soon, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually literally how I announced my pregnancy was a Schitt's Creek gift.
That's right.
You
It's
guys
not
saw
even her
that.
first
Isn't
baby.
even her first baby.
Oh yes, yes, I
They're, like,
remember.
they're throwing like a baby shower for like a lady in town, and he's like, "It's not even her first baby." And the guy's like, "Oh, so it's a sprinkle? What's a sprinkle? It's like not a
during
full
a
shower.
shower?
It's just
Oh.
a sprinkle." And he's like. And he's like doing everything wrong. He wants to serve like sushi, like raw fish and like cheeses and alcohol.
wine.
And he's like, you can't serve that. Pregnant women can't have that. And he's like we're making a party for one person. He's like, it's her baby shower. That's kind of the point. But yeah, I'm pregnant if you didn't know. Surprise.
Ta-da! Congratulations! That's awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah, and we're gonna find out in a few weeks.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're gonna find out what the baby is.
Hopefully if baby cooperates.
That's true. You
Although,
hear that, baby? Cooperate.
The last ultrasound, it was very active. So I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, we're excited.
Yeah.
Well, that is all I have for April Fool's Day. It was pretty active April Fool's Day. You know, there were some people don't like the
And I
April
mean,
Fool's stuff.
I'm
Some
sure
people
we've
do.
missed a lot of things. There was a lot more like jokey little announcement things too.
I'll tell you what I find from April Fool's Day posts from board game publishers. I feel like it's testing the market with just an absolutely absurd idea. And they're like, is there traction?
Is it though?
Great
They're
Western Trail
gauging
Gollum.
interest. Yeah.
No.
They did Great Western Trail
they did
Gollum
not.
edition. They did. They jokingly.
It was a
joke.
announcement, but they garnered a lot of
But
interest.
you know that they were testing the market on how many people would buy Great Western Trail Gollum
all
edition.
the comments were, "This should be real. I want it.
I
I
would
need
buy
it. I
it.
will buy it." Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I would purchase that in literally like a nanosecond.
Derek already has his credit card out. He's like tapping the screen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right here.
I
Tap
mean,
it.
we all know
Not
he
working.
has no self control.
Super
just
bad
backed it.
impulse control.
Same.
Just backed it.
Got
it.
It's like a pre-back now.
Yup,
It's
you know, I just chucked my phone at the screen and just hoped it worked. Anyways, thank you so much for joining us on this episode. We had a lot of fun. Of course, we like to just have a good time, and we get on some really crazy rabbit trails and some divergent paths, and we just have a good time talking.
always.
So thank you for joining us. Hope you have a good week of gaming. Sound off in the comments about your favorite forgotten childhood movie.
Yeah.
That was one of the big things we talked about. And also tell us about your favorite April Fool's joke that you saw or thing that should be real.
Yeah, and tell us about a game world you'd love to see as a
we're
TV show or
actually giving
movie.
them like homework.
Yeah,
at this
here's
point.
your homework. Okay, listen.
Step 17. Okay.
Here's your rule book.
Pick one of those things if it's too much. We don't want to overwhelm you.
But we truly appreciate you listening to this episode, and we will catch you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
And that's it for this week's podcast. Thanks again to our amazing sponsors and our wonderful Patreon supporters. We'll see you next time on the Board Game Spotlight Podcast.